Isadora of Curvaceous Belly Dance. I'm here today to be doing my first interview for Shimmy Tech. I'm going to be interviewing Camilla Cream of The Profitable Performer. Camilla offers training in marketing, business, and branding. She aims her training at performers of all types, even though she comes from a burlesque background. She offers one-on-one training sessions along with handbooks and runs the Facebook and Instagram page called The Profitable Performer. Camilla was voted the 9th most influential burlesque figure, and that's in Australia. And she was crowned 2018's Miss Burlesque Tasmania. She is a performer, she is a producer, and a coach. And I have brought her here because she really is, she's got a lot of training in marketing, business, and branding. And I really want to talk to her today about how we can help build our social media. She has knowledge in a lot of different areas, but really want to focus today on Facebook and Instagram, so that we can maybe bring her back in the future to talk more about other topics. Anyway, I just want to say welcome, Camilla Cream.
Through all the things that I'll be doing online and networking and things. So yeah, I'm really excited to share those things with you. My journey into burlesque started my performance started late in life. And so back in my early 20s and had no idea what burlesque was until my late 20s, and then just went, oh, burlesque, what is this? So I found I just kind of fell into this whole new art form and this freedom of expression. I think it also takes a little bit of who I am and got into my own sexuality and things as well, which is kind of cool. But what I really liked about being online and producing my own shows was the marketing side of things. And I saw a little gap in the market where, you know, everyone was offering dance classes and how to move and all these things on stage and making your costumes and things, but there was no one really sort of teaching you what to do to get gigs and what to do online and how do you promote yourself. And coming from a teaching background, I had absolutely no idea what to do. So I floundered in things until I found did some marketing training. I've done a marketing and communications course, and then decided I want to mix my teaching and my marketing experience and knowledge and put them together and help performers. So that's how the Profitable Performer program came about.
Oh, and I'm so glad you did, because there's really been a lot of great information, and I hope everyone will check out her Instagram. And she has a Facebook group that you can join. Both are really fantastic. She's got a lot of regular content that will help you with small things to big things, lots of really good prompts to really get your brain thinking about what you should be doing or can be doing to help build your brand and to build your reach for your social media to get whatever you want to get out of it. So
absolutely. And that's like any stage of your performance. If you're just doing it for a bit of a hobby, you know, it's still something to keep in mind, because working in an industry, we want to make the entertainment industry as a whole, you know, better and more professional. So it doesn't matter what level you are.
Yes, exactly. You want to be seen. Even if you're a student level, you still want student gigs. You want to be seen to get your level. Whether you have huge number of followings or very few followings, there's still something on offer for you if you're pushing to be seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, I'm already excited. So we're going to start with a couple questions. Number one, why do you think performers these days need to focus on social media? I mean, we kind of started talking about, but there's more to it, obviously.
Yeah, I think there's a few reasons. I think, you know, especially when you're sort of getting into performance and you're sort of dipping your toe in the water and going, is this something for me? I don't really know. You might not want to go out there and buy a website and start managing that. So that's a big commitment financially and time-wise. So like a free kind of home or free website you can have, which is always quite good. So why not take advantage of that so you can be seen for no money? I think it's a really great way to connect with other artists as well. So you can see what other people are doing and get inspired by them. You can connect with other producers and, you know, get gigs that way. You can connect with even people from other genres that might inspire you in a different way too. I think it's really good to be part of those conversations in your industry and, you know, be connected with people, build those relationships.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like how easy is it to like just be in your PJs at home, sitting on the couch, like chatting away, and then all of a sudden you get a gig, and you know, you don't have to put on a face. It's great.
Exactly.
I think for me, social media has been one of the biggest job opportunity grabbers as well. So a lot of people post, like local producers will post shout outs online to say, hey, I've got a gig on this date. Who's got this particular genre? I'd love for you to be in my show. And so there's a lot of call outs like that on social media. And I probably get maybe 75% of it from social media shout outs like that, or being involved in groups and things. So it's definitely worthwhile being on social media for sure. And that's Facebook and Instagram are like two major ones. But there's even other things like Twitter, even LinkedIn, which is getting a bit more like Facebook now. Good one to consider. I pretty much treat it like Facebook. I tweak like the post to be a bit more business-like. Yeah, a bit more. Anyway, there's TikTok as well if you're into that. Doesn't really work for me because my content is too sexy, so my things get taken down. But it's definitely something fun to create different little videos and things to put on other socials too. What else? Oh, we talked about inspiration. So yeah, I mean, they're my top kind of reasons why. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's really helpful, especially talking about the call out gigs, because I do think that is something that people aren't always aware of, is that sometimes last minute fills, or just there's people who just don't want to get call out performers other ways. They want a quick and easy way. So that makes a lot of sense, that a lot of people could be missing performance opportunities just because they're not opening up their social media. I think that's a really good point. I almost didn't think of that. And that's
absolutely.
Cool. We want to be seen. We want to perform. We're performers.
Yeah. A lot of those local, little local shows as well, which are one of my favorite shows. I'd rather perform on a small stage to a group of people. It's so much more intimate. Big stages are great and grand. But there's something special about performing, this close to people and getting up close and personal. I love them. So yeah, I mean, if you're not with an agency or a company that's getting you gigs, why not jump on social media to be seen and get more? Yeah.
And the reality is that whereas burlesque has that kind of stuff, belly dance doesn't tend to have as much of that being seen. So I think it's even more important in belly dance in particular, which some of you guys are belly dancers, that it's even more on us. I mean, yeah, there's weddings and stuff, but it's these other performance opportunities we have to really reach out and find a way to get grabbed for.
Yeah, and there's nothing to say that you just have to go for shows that are your genre. I mean, I've been talking to musicians and say, hey, could I come and dance for one of your band gigs and just come out for a number and improvise or something? And that's a fun way to network and get different opportunities. And that's a fun thing to do too. So think about like other avenues. You don't have to just go for your genre of performance.
And there are a few fusion dancers I know that are doing this, and I'm kind of curious to see how many other fusion dancers start to take advantage of the fact that, I mean, definitely classical dancers can do this as well, but if you're already doing heavy metal fusion belly dance or doing gothic, that's the idea. Reach out, think a little bit further. See, she's giving us great ideas.
And there's something so special performing to live music too. I love that. It's one of my favorite things.
As a dancer performer, it really does come down to live music is like living.
Yeah.
So my next question for you is, what are 5 super basic things that you think we need to be doing regularly with our social media?
Yeah. There's so many. Narrowing it down to 5 is tough.
I know. I didn't want to give all your secrets away and also take like 2 or 3 hours of your time. That's why I figured we'll commit you.
I'm happy to chat. I can chat all night about this.
I will bring you back. I'll bring you back.
Please do. I think something I talk about a lot in my group and in my posts and things, and with my one-on-one sessions, is branding. And I think a lot comes down to branding, knowing who you are as an artist and using that as a driver to put yourself out there. I think once you start getting really confident as who you are and what you want to do and what your values are, and what kind of person and performer you want to be, then that kind of makes everything easier. Like you kind of go, oh yeah, I know what caption to put with that because it matches with what kind of value or what kind of perception I want to put out. A huge one I would say is actually be social. On social media, you know, it's called that for a reason, and it was built with the intention of people to connect together, and that's how the algorithms work. The more that you connect and like and share and save and comment, then the more you start seeing other people, more other people start seeing your posts, and you know, it just kind of snowballs from there. So you know, connecting with people, adding friends, adding producers, adding other people within the live entertainment industry, liking their posts or commenting on them, sharing them, saying why you shared, all that kind of stuff. Engaging and being social is going to help not only with your reach online and you being seen, but also just staying connected with your industry. And that connectedness and that feeling of belonging is nice. You know, we're solo artists a lot of the time, and you know, fly alone, but it's nice to feel connected to people. Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely something, that's like my biggest one. Be social. Yeah, I think with the branding thing, be consistent. So you know, if I'm posting things about my big thing is about community and helping people and networking and connecting, and so if I'm posting that on Facebook, but then on Instagram I'm all about the applause and it's just, oh, I'm just pretty and stuff, it's not sending the same message.
Yeah.
So yeah, being consistent across all the platforms that you're on, even if it's just two. I think that's really important. Then your audience sort of trusts you a bit more. They know what to look for. They see that you're a bit more genuine, that kind of thing. Oh, use hashtags. So we were talking a little bit before about hiding your hashtags with your stories, which is a fun thing to do.
My favorite thing. Tell us more, because everybody might not know this, but this was my favorite new hack. So definitely, I would say.
Yeah, so in Instagram stories, what you can do is, like, a big way to get more reach is pop a hashtag in your story. Now, sometimes when you've got a really nice picture, you don't want to have that hashtag just like cluttering up your picture. So you can select the little color dropper and then choose the color in your background, and you can hide it so it blends in with the background, and it's the lifesaver. Secret hashtag.
It's my favorite toy. I'm so abusing it. I heard you told us about it like about a week or two ago, and it's become like my new abuse thing. I love it.
It's so much fun. I love doing it too. I use it all the time. And sometimes I'll post something and forget and go, oh, I'll just download that story, and I'm like, I'll repost it again and put the hashtags in.
Exactly.
It's terrible. It's terrible. But yeah.
Yes, it's a fun hack. Definitely try that one out, guys. So yeah. Okay, I think we're like 3.
3, yeah. So another one would be use a mixture of different content types. So a lot of people engage with things in different ways. Some people really like just looking at photos and just scrolling through. Some people really like reading posts. Some people like watching videos and turning the sound on. So thinking about having a mixture of those different posts, so you're getting everybody at, you know, every different angle that you possibly can, and reaching everyone. And, you know, variety is the spice of life. So why not, you know, make it interesting for you too. And my last one, just be genuine, be authentic, be you. Don't try and copy someone else's style or do someone else, because people see through it pretty quick. And I guess that kind of goes with the branding, but yeah, just think about who you are as a person and as an artist, and just do that.
Yeah. I think that's a great one. So going the opposite direction, what are 2 things you think we're doing completely wrong on social media? I know there's dozens again, but what are your 2 top?
I was trying to think about what I see the most, and maybe something that sort of encompasses all the different genres of live entertainment. I think one is selling, like over promoting and overselling. So every post you've got, you know, click on my link, here's a ticket to the show I'm in, and every post you've got is about that. Or, you know, buy my merch, and like every post you've got for that week is all about that. And while it's great to want to sell your things, if you're just going sell, people are going to switch off. So, you know, mixing the say if it's for a show, you've got, you know, a post about ticket sales, then you might have a post about, hey, here's me in rehearsals in the studio, and then here's the costume, and then, you know, for the show coming up, now here's a ticket link again. And so then you're kind of mixing it up with that, because I think the audience will go, oh, what's she doing? You know, what are they doing that, you know, studio rehearsal for? I'll click on that. So it draws them in and is a bit more of a hook. So yeah, don't sell too much or put, you know, links on everything. And going back to, I guess, the biggest thing that I think that we should be doing regularly is not being social enough. Just kind of popping up on social media, posting something and then leaving it isn't going to get you the reach. You need to be engaging with people and commenting on others and replying to comments. Like, that's a really big thing to get your post reach up. If someone comments, reply and have like a proper thoughtful response rather than just thanks or, you know, a love heart or something. Yeah.
On that note, one of my questions is that being a burlesque performer and working in industries as females, what do you do, or what is your suggestion for dealing with pervs?
Nah. Yeah,
like, what do you do with that? That's been one of my questions.
It depends. Yeah, that question comes up regularly, actually. And I think for me, it depends on what they've said. If it's super ridiculously over the top, just like, yeah, I want to stick my, you know, D in your B or whatever.
They're vulgar.
Yeah, I'll just delete that. No one needs to see it. Most people that are following you will just look at that and go, what an idiot. You know, everyone's on your side. So if it's super over the top like that, I just delete. I do the same with really spammy posts, like, hey, DM us and you can be our ambassador. Nah, delete that. Because that's not what they're wanting. They just want you to buy their stuff for cheap. It's silly. And if it's something that's not as in your face, not as over the top. That's the ones I'm wondering.
Those are the ones I'm wondering about.
So sometimes I might reply and sort of try and draw the conversation back to the caption, the thing that I've written about, rather than the picture, because generally, you know, those posts are about like, oh yeah, you're sexy, honey, baby, whatever. So let's go back to what have I written in the caption and why have I posted this, and go, thanks. And then say, you know, what do you think about blah, 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 or, you know, draw their attention back to the caption. And 9 times out of 10, they'll end up actually responding to that and you'll turn the conversation around. So same with haters. Like, if it's super over the top and awful and horrible, delete it. But if they're saying something and you think, you know what, I might be able to change this person's attitude a little bit, and just, you know, responding with kindness.
So go for the nice boob guys, get them in conversation. Everyone, the nasty ones, just delete. I love that. I wouldn't have thought of that, and that's something that's come up in my post a lot, and I've been kind of curious where to go with it. I love this. I think that is some great advice that I think a lot of us can walk away with that and use it, because I think it's helpful, because you do get tons of male posts that are not always interactive or helpful to a conversation, but if you can make it helpful, I think that's great. I love that.
And you know what, you respond. yeah, and you respond, and then they getting a bit of attention, then they respond back, you turn the conversation around, all of a sudden you got all these comments, and look, your post is getting more reach.
The mastermind. That's why we have you here, is mastermind. This is genius. So I have been following The Profitable Performer, I think, since just about you had opened. It was quite new when I think I found you, and you regularly talk about documenting versus creating, and I wanted to kind of talk a bit more about this idea and how we can be using this.
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of talk a bit more about this idea and how we can be using this.
Yeah, so this is an idea that when I was studying marketing, I was listening to a lot of marketing podcasts and things, and there's this guy called Garyvee, who, if you're into marketing, you know all about him. Some people find him very abrasive. He's very real. He's like, no bullshit, just this is how it is. And he's built this giant empire. And he just gives away a lot of tips and stuff for free. He's all about just giving and giving and helping, and, you know, making the industry stronger. So yeah, the idea of documenting versus creating came from him, and he uses it more to, I guess, Oh, so it's all about documenting your journey. So just like, hey, you know, this is the costume I'm working on right now. Or, oh, you know, I tried to do this particular movement and it didn't work like in my head like I thought it was. So I changed it to this. You know, it's documenting the highs and the lows and the failures and how you fix things, rather than just going, here's a beautiful picture of me in my costume that's polished, that's from a photographer and edited, you know, every single time, because your audience wants to see the real you. You think about like all the reality shows that everybody loves watching. Everyone loves seeing behind the scenes and all the little things that go on. So, you know, people generally want to see the real person behind the performer. And whilst the beautiful pictures are great, and I still love them and use them, if you're punctuating those with your journey and your things that are happening throughout your day or your performance, like show prep and that sort of stuff, then people are more likely to engage with you and think that you're, I guess, genuine. I kind of think of it like a show, not tell thing. So it's not like, hey, I'm telling you that I'm great and look at me. It's, I'm going to show you this is how I became the performer that I am today. Yeah, that's all about that. So it's not like promote. Here's my pretty pictures. It's like, hey, this is me doing this. This is me doing this. And yeah, I really like it. I think it's super beneficial. It gives your audience, you know, that little peek backstage into things that you're doing, your life as a performer. It focuses on more of the human aspect of you behind the artist. So sometimes people find that a bit, you know, we're seen a lot as, I guess, products to a lot of, you know, bigger companies and corporations, you know, come and do this for free. There's a big thing at the moment with the AFL, the Australian Football League, and hiring dancers for free. So for their grand final. So there's been a big dispute about that. So yeah, it's really brought to light to mainstream media, hey, you know, the arts is worth something, and especially during this time where everyone's consuming art. You know, everyone's turning on Netflix and watching Spotify and you know, using all this stuff, but they're not willing to sort of cough up and pay for it. So because it's not a real job.
Yeah.
I roll.
Oh yeah, we get that. But yeah, I definitely that part. we all hate the word exposure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, let me pay my mortgage
and
exposure. Thanks.
Keep it to the camera, nothing else. Don't ever use that word for anything else except for lighting for a camera.
Yes. Oh, I like that. Oh, put that on a t-shirt.
Go for it. You can steal whatever you like. But yeah, and also I wanted to bring back the fact that you also, that ties back into about what you said about being real, that if you're being real, you're showing that you're a human being and not just being a pretty package. And obviously you already said that that's a really important way to build interest in you and to build that your brand as a human being, not just as a, I mean, we can all photocopy the same 12 looking women and all pretend to be them, and that's not going to sell anything, because at a certain point you get bored of seeing the same face.
Exactly right.
Yes. So and then my last question for you was, sometimes we get stuck on what to post. What are some, I mean, really, we've grinded it. We're like, I've done enough pretty pictures. I've talked about my show. What are some prompts you think that are really good to kind of inspire us to post new content and just be more interesting?
Yeah, I think everyone comes across this at some point or another. No matter how much you're doing, you kind of get this, you know, mental block. You're like, oh God, I don't know what to do next. And I actually just posted, I think today and yesterday in my group, I posted some lists of tips. So yeah, so I guess the whole documenting thing, go behind the scenes, you know, what are you working on now? What's a day in the life of you as a performer? Pop it in your stories in the morning. I'm waking up, having my coffee. Oh, now I'm going to studio to do some rehearsals. Now I'm, you know, throwing up my costume. You know, documenting through your stories, going behind the scenes. You can do an inspirational quote, something that, you know, has inspired you and why it's inspired you. Maybe pop it in your branding colors or something, if that's something you like, playing with Canva or something like that. I like doing that.
Yes, we'll talk about Canva another time.
Oh, that is my favorite thing to play with. I love it.
So many people do. I'm still old fashioned. I still Photoshop because I'm building up my Photoshop skills, and that's my lockdown rule. But Canva is, I think, a great access point for people who don't have a very expensive program.
Oh, 100%. I use Canva because I have no idea how to use Photoshop. That's like, one day I'll learn. One day I'll learn.
Just stick with Canva. You're probably doing better.
Yeah. Drag and drop, so much easier.
Yes, but Canva is definitely something we'll have to talk about another time. But yeah, the prompts that you did list some stuff recently, so definitely check out her page. There are some fantastic other prompts. She's got a lot of really good things. And yeah, and then one more thing, branding colors. You've talked about that a couple times. Can you talk briefly about this idea?
Yeah, so traditionally in marketing, a company will stick to a logo or, at least their name in a particular font or a color. And that becomes sort of instantly recognizable. I mean, you think of McDonald's and the golden arches, immediately when you see a yellow M, that's what you think of. So I think about a color or a couple of colors that I sort of use so that when you look through my Instagram page, if you kind of squint and like flick through my Instagram, you'll just see pink. So every time I do a coaching session with some performer, I'll go into their Instagram and I'll squint. I'll be like, what color do I see? And then I'll say, hey, I've noticed that, that you're using a lot of blues. Is that intentional? Or, what kind of color do you see yourself? And so that's really interesting. And so for me, my color's pink, if you didn't know.
There's no missing that. On the Profitable Performer, there is zero missing that. Camilla's got a little bit of flux, but Profitable Performer, man, it is that.
Pink. I love it. I love it. So I've decided pink is like my uniting color. And so whether it's for my makeup, my hair, my costumes, my lighting, the feel, just like that pink kind of feel, it has to have an element of pink.
I love
but I think, yeah, that's just something so your brand is easily recognizable. And it's again about being consistent across, platforms and, different genres or different content types. Yeah.
And for everyone, you don't have to go quite as far as having your lighting being pink, but how freaking amazing is that? I love this idea. I love that taking it that far is like doing my Libra heart in. I'm loving it. I just think that's fabulous. Yeah, it's gonna make me want to go back and look at my color scheme.
Oh yeah, do it. It's fun. Yeah. I like playing around with it.
So anyway, also since we're gonna kind of wrap up, I wanted to have you talk real quick about your brand new workbooks. You've just released your workbooks. She's got a business one, a marketing, and a branding, and I'd love to hear more about the books.
Yeah, so I started out building just this big program that was all about like kind of video lectures and then activities or worksheets to kind of go with them. And it was a really quite a big program, and it takes, a few months to kind of get through. I thought, well, what's another way that I could get to people, like, offering different content types to engage audience members? How do I offer different products so that I can engage different performers and their different learning styles and the way that they want to engage with this kind of content? So so I had the videos and the worksheets, but then I created these handbooks. So it's a whole lot of information about the branding ones. I got some information about what is branding, and then how to create your brand, and then something about communication, and then how to improve your communication. And so there's all these different topics, and then practical activities you can do to improve your skills in that area. So I'm really excited about them. They just dropped, I think a week or two ago.
Yeah, it hasn't been very long, but I'm really fascinated by the ideas. It looks like a really cool project and a really good way to receive the content so that you can expand upon all of what we're starting to talk about. So
yeah, and I think like there was like, it's like a time management thing too. If you don't have time to set aside, to watch that video and do the worksheet, you can kind of read through, highlight, the workbook and go through it at your own pace. I'm doing a lot of coaching sessions, but sometimes setting up a time with performers, even interstate, let alone overseas, is like, what time is that in your country? Oh, I don't know, like we'll have to sort it out. And so yeah, it's a nice, easy way to access the information and do the work. So yeah, wanted to offer it so more people could access it.
Yeah, I think it's a good tool, so it's kind of cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, and also speaking of, you offer one-on-one coaching sessions on these topics.
I do. Yeah. So I'm doing some 30-minute and 60-minute ones at the moment, just for, again, accessibility. And so yeah, it's pretty much you just let me know what you want to work on in advance. So ideally, 24 hours in advance, so I can then go into your socials and have a little look around and see what I think. And then we can work through some stuff together in that time. So I've done a lot about branding and using social media, things that they're not doing quite right or not hitting the mark with, and things that ideas that I can give them in their specific genre or just in general. So yeah, they've been really, really good. I've really enjoyed doing them.
That's fantastic. And I think you said that you were going to offer a small discount, well, a good discount.
Wow. Yeah.
For
Yeah.
us who are watching the video on one-on-one coaching sessions.
Yeah. So I thought until the end of the month, until Halloween, I would like to offer my 60-minute coaching session for $45 Australian. So they're usually 70. So that's 25 off. And my 30-minute coaching sessions are $30, and I'd like to offer those for $20 for the 30 minutes.
Wow, that's a really good offer, and I definitely think I'm going to be signing up because I'll have to clean my social media quick so I don't look so bad.
There's no shame.
See what all rules I've already broken.
No. It's all learning. It's hurdles, and we overcome them, and it's a journey, and we get better.
And that's what the scanning's for. You just keep building new content and keep pushing the old, less learned down to the bottom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. If there was anything else you wanted to offer, otherwise, I wanted to say thank you.
That was everything in my notes, actually. We went through quite a lot.
We did. Well, I'm so happy to have had you and to got to talk to you. I learned quite a bit, even myself, even after following you, I'm still learning from you. And I think that's fantastic. And I think you have tons more knowledge stored up in that brain of yours. That very pink brain.
Very pink.
So yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much for doing this. And don't forget to check out The Profitable Performer and Camilla Cream. Those are her two identities. And definitely have a chat with her about the one-on-one session discount, because that I think will bring a lot of help to you and building your social media. So again, thank you so much, Camilla. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.